What is going on, everyone? James Livingston here, back with another video going over the market as a whole. SPY, QQQ, IWM, the major ETFs, trying to go over and give you guys somewhat of a navigating path to what we could be expecting here today in today's session. Obviously, right now we are in a little bit of limbo because of CPI and PPI data coming out tomorrow, Wednesday for CPI, PPI on Thursday. So market is in a little bit of limbo as far as what direction to choose. Like we spoke about yesterday in Monday's video, we've had essentially this larger bearish candle breakdown right here. As of yesterday, Monday, we did have a decent little push up, basically a little relief bounce, if you will, into Friday's sessions kind of area or range. But overall, it didn't really have any crazy movement. You can see that we did kind of track like we were talking about, where we pushed that 545 area. We made support over 542. Excuse me. 542.70 was our low of day there, with a hold mainly on 543, actually, where we gapped up from Friday session into Monday session. Excuse me, guys, sorry. Still recovering from the pneumonia. But essentially, we broke over that pre-market low from Friday, and we did kind of settle above that area there come the end of the day yesterday. So overall, market kind of did what we expected. It did have a little relief bounce after the market meltdown. Still maintaining our EMAs to the downside, so trend as of right now still seems to be intact for some more downside movement. Daily is getting a little bit of a bounce there off of the 60 EMA there, so it's worth noting that possibly if we can get a break of today's high, we could track back towards that 551 area there, the high of day from Friday. So I'm going to go ahead and just mark that off a while at the 447.70, or sorry, 547.70, and then the low of day from yesterday, which was again that 542.70 area. So as of right now, we're gonna probably trace or trade within this range here. I don't expect us to have any crazy moves. Just with PPI around the corner, there's no real reason for the market to push higher or lower at the moment. I think it's very likely that today, if anything, I could see us possibly looking for that kind of gap up that we had from Friday into Monday. We could possibly target those lows. It depends on if the market wants to fill that imbalance before CPI, or if they want to continue to possibly trap some more bears and push it even higher up into here before launching it. Who knows? CPI, we don't know necessarily. We don't have a confirmed 100% that we are going to push higher. But the market overall over the last several months has been nothing but bullish. So it's hard for us to kind of look at it any other direction or any other way. But looking in here, let's go in and find some key levels here you can watch for to trade for this session today. Again, with CPI, PPI, the next 2 days, would definitely size yourself down. Don't want to be risking too much, especially with some more choppier price action. Nothing too crazy. So as of right now for calls, at the moment, we are looking for that high of day 547.70 break in order to enter into some calls to look for, again, a push towards Friday's high. Will it get all the way up to the 551 area? Who knows? We still have to get over 550 psychological level first. So I would say that 550 psychological would be your first target there, with a potential to push up into towards 551. As far as downside here, we can probably take a downside push with a break of 545.50. So essentially 545.50 right there. If you want to be even safer, 545 flat would be another spot to look for the breakdown. But overall, I don't anticipate us getting any crazy moves. I mean, I think we could possibly break this low here. Let me get my drawing tool. We'll probably break that low, get the... There's a drawing tool. Possibly break this low right here, maybe get a little retest to right here, up into this area, and then push down towards this beginning of the gap again. I don't necessarily know that we're going to go straight down into the gap, or... Oh, I got to get rid of some of this. Or if we're going to possibly see Wow, I just can't get rid of this stuff. There we go. So I don't know if we're going to push that downside move, break the level, and then kind of have an action like this. Or if price action really wants to, we could also possibly break this high right here, get a little bit of a pullback, and then retrace up into that 550 area before ultimately getting shut down again and pushing back down. So there's a couple scenarios. I don't think we're going to get any meaningful moves here today personally, but we'll see as the market goes on. Moving on to QQQ, again, kind of similar. We did talk about this pre-market low from Friday essentially being the target there on QQQ if we did break above those key levels down below. Now again, same thing or very similar levels. I'm just looking for essentially the break of this 455.60 area, excuse me, to give us a little bit more push up towards I believe first target here would probably be about 458.50, and then obviously towards that high of day, maybe 460 psychological level next. Downside wise, we pretty much have the downside level mapped out here. You can see 452 was what we created as a support yesterday at pre-market. Basically held that range with some slight liquidity pushes up or down out of it, but overall it seems like this little area is holding as a nice little supply zone, if you will. So overall, I don't expect the market to really make any kind of crazy moves. Again, if we break the 452, we have room to go back down to 450 flat. And then, of course, we have, a whole gap down here from Monday to attack as well. So there's a couple of opportunities, but in this market right now, today, Tuesday, before CPI and PPI, I would highly suggest sizing down, taking what you can get in the market, and not oversizing and over leveraging yourself. Same thing with over here on IWM. Overall, daily wise, we did just kind of create an inside candle here. Like we were talking about, we basically just kind of stayed within the range of Friday's candle, did not break higher or lower, just kind of stayed within it. Like we identified there on yesterday, Monday, we identified that Friday's pre-market action, that kind of low that they set there, would essentially be the acting resistance at this moment. And you can see that price action just about got up there, basically touched that 210 psychological level, and then got a rejection back down. As of right now for IWM, it looks like we do have that level that's holding there at 207.60, just about. We do have ourselves a little bit of the gap fill. Like we did fill it a little bit in pre-market, or sorry, in the early AM session yesterday, but we did not fully fill it down into the lower 207. So there is opportunity there for downside. I would say at the moment, upside level for IWM, I'm looking at 209 to give us that push back up towards 210 again. And then from there, we'll see if we can get that push over 210, target those Friday highs, right? Probably about 212, a little over 212 possibly, if we can break that 210 psychological level. Downside wise, 207.60, break that, we can possibly see as low as the 206.80-ish, maybe even a push lower like we've been talking about. There is room to the downside. It's just I don't think we're going to get it yet until CPI and PPI data come out. Another one to look at here, I'm going to look at the... Alright, sorry about that, guys. My recording cut out. I ran out of storage. So like I was saying here on NVIDIA, we kind of identified yesterday that we were in more of this like upward channel, this kind of uptrending channel after we broke out of the range here. And kind of like we talked about yesterday, if we can hold the bottom of this range as a resistance, then there's good potential to continue down. Obviously right now price action is just kind of continuing and flowing itself right back into that range. So as of right now, it does look like NVIDIA is back in that kind of 105 to 110, 104, 110 range. So right now, NVIDIA, if I'm looking at just overall, again, I think it's really waiting on the market to kind of see what's going to happen with CPI and PPI. But as far as some levels you can trade out today, I would say you can look at that 107.15 could give us the push back up towards 107.77, which was a bit of a level before, and then if we can clear that, we've got some room back up to the high of day there, 108s. As far as downside, right now, you can probably take the short at roughly about 105.60-ish, 105.60. You can probably take it there and ride it down into what looks to be about the 104, the lower 104s. I think there's opportunity there for a dollar move. But again, just like we were talking about, there's no reason to over leverage or even overstay your welcome in a lot of these stocks, just because of simply waiting for price action to find its path with CPI and PPI. So the one thing here with Tesla, I will point out, is Tesla is actually looking fairly strong as of recent. Like the levels that it's providing right now, the push up that it had, had a little bit of a, I guess you could call it a double top right here. But overall, we are starting to really see some push to the upside, especially this pre-market looking a little stronger than the other ones. So I would be looking at, obviously this 219.20 seems to be a strong level. You could even just call it 220, essentially. If we break 220, I think there's a really good chance we can get a pretty big ripper up towards the 225 area. Got a lot of open room right here to push, so I would not be surprised if Tesla starts to push that 220. We can see higher. All right, sorry about that. Lost all my storage again, guys. And then obviously, like I said, that 216.50, if we break that down, we can possibly see this little mini gap that we formed on Monday morning start to get filled to that lower end at about 211.50-ish. So there's some room on Tesla. I think if there was a stock to watch today, I would say it should be Tesla, as far as the ranges that it's giving off. The rest of them are kind of looking a little more choppy. I mean, even Amazon not looking great. Apple just kind of chopping around. Microsoft not looking too bad. Maybe some opportunity over 408.60. Google also looking pretty bearish on this one, so it does appear that Google could have some continuation to the downside. AMD, again, just in that same channel as NVIDIA, really kind of choppy. So not a whole lot of opportunity right now, guys, but I think that's just to be given, especially with CPI, PPI around the corner. But nonetheless, guys, hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please do remember to give it a like. Comment down below, let me know what you guys thought. Hopefully these levels are helping you guys, helping you to just understand the market a little bit better and how price action kind of works. And of course, if you're new, please do hit that subscribe button. I'm going to continue to make these videos as often as I possibly can. And yeah, that's about it. So hopefully you guys have a good rest of your day and kill the market today. And we will see you first thing in the morning tomorrow for some CPI preparation. Peace.